Every city produces its own legends. Some are preserved in museums and textbooks. Others live in whispers. Stories told in dim bars, in the low rumble of a Harley-Davidson engine, and in the symbolic patches worn on the back of a leather cut. In Detroit, a city forged by industry and resilience, some of its most notorious legends rode on two wheels. For decades, the Outlaws Motorcycle Club has been more than a gang. It has functioned as a shadow empire with its own laws, economy, and internal code of discipline. This is the story of that empire, and the federal campaign designed to dismantle it piece by piece. What you're about to hear is drawn from real, unsealed federal indictments and court filings from 2018 to 2023. These documents offer rare insight into a criminal operation that was far more structured, strategic, and corporate than most imagined. This is how the FBI decided to bring the Outlaws down. A new criminal era begins. To understand the magnitude of the takedown, you must first understand the soil from which this Detroit chapter grew. If you've seen our documentary on the Detroit Biker Wars, you already know about the decades-long blood feud between the Outlaws and their rivals, the Hells Angels. It was a conflict fought with fists, chains, pipes, firearms, and a deep desire for territorial control. These battles played out in parking lots, swap meets, highways, and bars. It was brutal, personal, and visible, a public spectacle of the outlaw world. But when the fighting stopped and the most violent members were arrested or killed, the Outlaws did something unexpected. They did not fade, they transformed. By the early 2000s, the Detroit Outlaws had rebuilt themselves into something far more efficient and far more dangerous. Street fights were replaced by high-profit, low-visibility criminal ventures. The chapter didn't just survive the war, it emerged stronger, more focused, and increasingly business-oriented. Their internal structure resembled a corporation with a militaristic chain of command. President, absolute authority, final decision-maker. Vice President, second in command, overseeing daily operations. Sergeant-at-Arms, chief enforcer, responsible for discipline and violence. Treasurer, manager of illegal cash flow and financial health. Secretary, record keeper, and communicator, full patch members, the soldiers carrying out the club's agenda. To civilians, they projected the image of motorcycle enthusiasts who rode for brotherhood and community. Charity events, toy runs, cookouts, and public gatherings helped reinforce this image. But beneath that surface was a profit machine fueled by fear, intimidation, and criminal enterprise, a corporate portfolio of crime. According to the FBI, the Outlaws ran a diversified criminal operation, similar to a corporation with multiple revenue streams. Illegal gambling, narcotics. This was the true engine. According to federal filings, the Outlaws moved large quantities of cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl. They operated like a logistics company, wholesale suppliers, mid-level managers who broke down kilos, street-level dealers, many of them prospects or hang-arounds. It was a structured corporate-style distribution network, earning enormous profits at the cost of community devastation. Protection rackets. Local business owners were approached with offers for protection, pay weekly or monthly fees, and the Outlaws would ensure nothing happened to the establishment. Those who resisted found themselves dealing with smashed windows, sudden fights, or mysterious anonymous tips to regulators. Compliance wasn't a choice. It was survival. Violence held everything together. It kept members loyal, ensured debts were paid, and intimidated the community. The sergeant-at-arms enforced discipline through threats, assaults, and punishment. Violence was not random. It was calculated, strategic, and always in service of the organization. Infiltrating an untouchable empire. Local authorities had long known the Outlaws were engaged in organized crime, but they rarely penetrated beyond low-level arrests. The club's strict code of silence made building larger cases nearly impossible. So the FBI changed its approach. Operation Wild Ride, a multi-year investigation, was launched with one goal: not to arrest a few members, but to dismantle the entire organization from the top down. To accomplish this, the FBI used undercover agents, covert audio and video recording, wiretaps, GPS tracking, surveillance of vehicles and clubhouses, confidential human sources, cooperators. The most devastating tool was turning club members into informants. Under threat of life sentences, financial ruin, or retaliation, several outlaws agreed to wear wires and record conversations inside meetings, bars, and clubhouses. These informants captured hours of discussions about drug deals, protection payments, and violent acts. The FBI now had a map of the organization. Every rank, every role, every operation. Judgment Day. By 2023, the FBI had collected enough evidence to launch coordinated raids across Michigan and Ohio. Before dawn, SWAT teams stormed multiple locations simultaneously. This time, they weren't after low-level dealers. They were targeting the leadership. The charges included racketeering conspiracy, RICO, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, drug trafficking conspiracy, illegal gambling, weapons violations. Over 24 members were arrested. For the first time in decades, the Detroit Outlaws had their command structure removed in a single blow. A rare look into the underworld. The unsealed documents reveal chilling snapshots of the Outlaws in action. The meth pipeline. Wiretaps caught members discussing meth shipments with the precision of businessmen analyzing commodities. Enforcement by violence. The sergeant-at-arms was accused of conducting a brutal assault on a suspected informant and threatening others who owed debts. Corrupted church meetings. What were supposed to be sacred gatherings of brotherhood became boardrooms where leaders discussed drug shipments, approved acts of violence, and counted protection payments. The romantic image of the outlaw biker was replaced by a reality of organized crime, addiction, and calculated brutality. An era ends. Is the story over? No. The Outlaws as a global organization will endure as they have since 1935. But the Detroit chapter under this particular leadership has collapsed. Many defendants face 20 years, 30 years, or life in federal prison. The empire fell quietly, not in a dramatic highway shootout, but through surveillance files, courtroom proceedings, and the clink of handcuffs closing around the wrists of its leaders. The story of the Outlaws remains a cycle of myth, violence, and consequence. And this indictment serves as a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous criminals aren't hiding in the shadows, they're riding in plain sight.